The East Abbotsford detached market is performing strong, and it's nothing like the rest of Abbey. In April, the East Abbotsford detached market recorded 24 sales, while West Abbotsford only recorded 7 sales and 12 sales in Central Abbotsford. While other areas of Abbotsford are slowing down, the East Abbotsford detached market continues to show resilience. Detached homes in this area are selling close to 97% of their original list price. But here's the thing, the market is shifting, and if you have been thinking about selling, now is the time to pay attention. In this video, I'll be giving a breakdown of the Canadian housing numbers, an update for the East Abbotsford detached and townhome market, and things that you could do to get top dollar for your home. Hi, welcome to my channel. My only ask is if you find today's video valuable, please go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe button so we can keep bringing more content like this to you about the East Abbey detached market. Let's talk about the national housing numbers for April 2025. When you see the photo on the screen, you'll notice month over month, national sales remain virtually unchanged, down from 0.1% from March to April. Year over year, monthly activity dropped close to 10% compared to April of 2024. The Canadian average sale price declined by 3.9% year over year. If you look at the national inventory for homes across Canada, we're sitting at close to 5 months of inventory. Next, let's talk about the listing surge and population movements. The active listings rose by 14% year over year, reaching 183,000 listings nationwide. Majority of the listing inventory is in Ontario and BC. According to BMO reports, Ontario experienced a net interprovincial loss of 32,000 people and BC experienced a loss of 10,000 people. What's interesting is Alberta gained a population increase of 53,000 people, and one of the main reasons people are moving to Alberta is because of affordability. Things that you'll notice now are more and more people are moving to Edmonton instead of Calgary due to affordable housing options. If you look at the next chart on the screen, what you'll see is sale price decline or increase across Canada. And what you'll see for BC is home sale prices have decreased by 6% year over year. This is one of the largest year over year declines in Canada. If you look at the rest of the chart, you'll notice that there is an increase in the residential average price for provinces like Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Quebec, New Brunswick, and so on. So you're probably asking yourself, Gary, that's great, but what do these numbers mean for me? Well, what this shows is the housing market across Canada is impacted, but the two most notable provinces that are impacted by the tariff war are BC and Ontario. What we're seeing right now here in the Aversford real estate market is buyers are really split into two categories. They're either active buyers or they're cautious buyers. So I would say about 50% of buyers that are cautious buyers have moved over to the sidelines, and 50% of the active buyers are taking their time before making a final decision on buying a townhome and a detached home. With the increase in inventory for detached homes and townhomes, they have more options to choose from. So what these stats really mean is more listings, cautious buyers, and less sales. But the East Abbey detached market is telling a totally different story. The last thing is, folks, if you look at the last photo on the screen, is if you look at the projected sales for 2025, we're expecting about 500,000 sales, and this is very similar to the number of sales that occurred in 2024. Next, let's talk about the East Abbotsford detached market. The East Abbotsford detached market is representing a balanced market at 15.8%. Days on market are 13, and months of inventory is at 5 months. And the reason why inventory is starting to increase is also because there's a higher number of tenanted properties coming on the market, but also the number of overpriced listings across Aversford and East Abbotsford is starting to increase. If you look at the average sale price for East Abbotsford in April, the average sale price was $1,363,000, which is an increase of 12% from what we saw in March. Home sales were down in April, where there were only 24 sales in April in comparison to the 31 in March. Part of that was also because of the federal elections that were taking place in April. Historically, when you have elections, sale activity slows down. The number of new listings is also increasing, and what I'm seeing from the front lines, folks, is buyers that have been waiting for the last couple of years are now deciding, you know what, we're tired of waiting for interest rates and all the other uncertainties that are always out there. We're going to go ahead and make our move. As a homeowner, what this means for you is the East Abbotsford market remains strong and active, and homes that are being priced right at market value are selling within a span of 13 days. If your home is well priced and is turnkey, you'll have no issue of selling it. One last thing is, even over the last couple of years, the East Abbotsford detached market for most of 2024 represented a seller's market for majority of the year. That's 10 out of the 12 months. And even though inventory has always been lower on this side, the buyer demand has always been strong. One last thing to note is buyer demand hasn't changed, but some buyers have just paused due to the uncertainty before making a final decision related to their home purchase. Next, let's talk about the East Abbotsford townhome market. The East Abbotsford townhome market is representing a buyer's market at 9.8%. Days on market are 8, and months of inventory right now is at 6 months. And that's also due to slowdown in sales and buyer activity. Usually the East Abbotsford townhome market always represents low inventory, and it's a seller's market. There were 7 townhome sales in March and 4 in April. In April, the average sale price for a townhome was around $904,000, which was an increase of 3% from March. What this means for you as a homeowner here in East Abbotsford is, due to sale activity decreasing, for the time being, the sale price of your townhome has gone down. As an example from the front lines, I recently did a home evaluation for a client out in East Abbotsford, where I had sent them an updated home evaluation in March, and I just shared a new evaluation for their townhome. And in that final sale price, we noticed there was a $30,000 to $40,000 difference between the final sale price that is showing now versus what was happening in early March. The last thing these stats mean for you as an East Abbotsford town homeowner is that you need to be patient. Your home will attract the right buyer. Next, let's talk about the upcoming Bank of Canada announcement. The next Bank of Canada announcement is on June 4th. And right now, folks, we're getting mixed signals from economists across Canada. Earlier on, economists were predicting that there would be a 25 basis point rate cut. And now they're saying that Bank of Canada, due to the latest core inflation numbers here in Canada, might not cut interest rates. So only time will tell what Bank of Canada will do. Next, let's talk about 5 practical tips that you can use as a homeowner for a successful sale of your townhome and detached sale. The first one is get clear on your why. Pull out a piece of paper and write out, I'm making a move because I'm downsizing, moving to the interior, or I'm moving to another province or another town here in BC due to blank reason. One of the biggest reasons why homeowners end up making a move is they have a clear reason for making the move. And sometimes for those folks that are living in East Abbotsford, that means that you're thinking of downsizing after 20 to 30 years of living in your current home, and you want to enjoy the next stage of your life. Number 2, get a proper home evaluation for your home. You might have a BC assessment letter showing that your home is worth $1.1, $1.5, or $1.6 million. But the thing is, folks, these home evaluations are outdated. They're based on market data from July of 2024. Right now, the East Abbotsford detached market is changing bi-weekly, if not daily. Once you contact your realtor for a home evaluation, one of the most important things that they will able to explain to you is the market conditions. How is the market doing right now? How many months of inventory is there? Days on market? Are sales going up or down? Are sale prices increasing or declining? Right now, as a homeowner, you need to know that spring is usually the busiest market for us here in real estate. The second busiest time is fall. Home sales usually tend to slow down in summertime as kids are off school. They're spending their time enjoying their holidays. Number 3, make any necessary repairs. Buyers love turnkey homes. If you have any small repairs that need to be done to your home, consider making them. It could be that, hey, there's a room that needs to be repainted, means changing light bulbs, or it could just be simple as doing a deep clean before you list your home for sale. Always remember, the first impression market is the best impression. The first impression the buyers get within 30 seconds of walking into your home either will make your home attractive or they'll say we want to see more homes. Number 4, list at market value. We've talked about this a lot in past videos, but when you list your home at market value, the pool of buyers is at 60%. Overprice your home by 10%, the pool of buyers shrinks to 30%. Overprice your home by 15% and the pool of buyers shrinks to 10%. The moral of the story is list your home at market value. Number 5, patience pays off. Right now, we are noticing that due to a higher number of inventory sitting on the market, sometimes your home will be sitting on the market for a little bit longer than expected. That's why it's very important that you work with the right realtor that keeps you posted on the latest developments with the market and is in communication with you daily about how your home is performing. Feedback from your showings is very important. Always remember, you will find the right buyer for your home that love it for the same reasons that you fell in love with their home 20 to 30 years ago. You have worked hard to build your life here, raised your kids, paid off your mortgage, even thought about buying a rental property or funding retirement dreams. But now you're wondering what are the next steps? Well, you need to click the video on the side because I'm going to give you a complete checklist of the things that you need to consider when you're selling your home. If you found today's video valuable, please go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe button. I'm Dhindsa, and we'll see you next week.